Play devil's advocate here, because we've talked a lot about supply, demand dynamics, the reason that it's higher, but many people have fought back on me when I've been posting about it, for example, on LinkedIn, being like, why are you putting such a bull case out there? I'm not, I'm stating where prices are going. But give us the bear case. What would send us lower? Why not get into this asset?
I think, I mean, as you said, the bull case is quite clear right now. I suppose there are concerns that we have seen sort of these really parabolic rallies in Bitcoin before, and then they have resulted in a follow-up sort of, decline and sharp decline. So, I mean, if history is going to repeat itself, if we're looking at the charts of where we were in, for example, 2021, then, we have seen this steep rally followed by a steep drop. And I guess there is a concern that, is it overdone? Is this hot air? But I do still think, despite, the suggestions that there could be a bear case, it's difficult to really hone in on that bear case when the facts, I think, are so blaringly obviously in favor of a bullish case. Just looking at the ETF demand that we're seeing, just keeping in mind the fact that we've got the halving event in April, which is going to slow down the supply of Bitcoin. I think these factors combined really do support that bullish case. I think, perhaps we could see ETF demand start to fall off, but I just don't see that happening. This really has flung open the door to the institutional investors, and I think that's what's helping this price higher.
So I'm really interested in this idea of being in price discovery mode and the data behind what forms the bull or bear thesis, right? If you're an equities investor, you can look at the commentary or narrative from executives. You can look at third-party data, credit card transactions to decide, for example, if a consumer is strong or not. What are the data sets that you look at to inform your view of what we call our risk asset of choice on this show, Bitcoin, away from just simply tracking the price?
Okay, so I think, the data that we've been getting in on ETF inflows and outflows has been a huge help in trying to decide where the next move's going with Bitcoin. That's been, I think, one of the main drivers that we've been watching. I think sort of on-chain demand is another thing that we've been watching as well. But also, I think risk sentiment. I mean, we know that risk sentiment broadly is very upbeat at the moment, as far as we've got, the NASDAQ at all-time highs. We've got expectations also that the Federal Reserve are going to be cutting interest rates at some point. So I don't think you can completely remove that fundamental analysis either. I think there is sort of, those data points that I said. I think that the ETF data has been a massive driving point at the moment.